friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to your practice. We're just going to begin with some soft and gentle movements. So we're taking our feet a little wider, softening into our knees, and just taking a little swish side to side. Start to feel ragdollish in your upper body. So we're sending heavy, deep, relaxing thoughts down to our legs. We're getting loose, lifted in our upper bodies. Take another little sway side to side. And when you're ready, lift your left heel, swing your arms to the right, lift your right heel and swing your arms to the left. We're gonna keep our eyes down for this. Thinking about carving this energy sphere around us. Maybe it's a protective bubble for energy vampires or whatever you want to see it as. Maybe it's a big, beautiful, sunny, warm glow or a white light of energy. Keeping our eyes down and following the trail of our fingertips to loosen into our necks. Taking a few more, and we're feeling like the core, our strong, able bellies are turning us here, giving us a little bit of our torque. Everything else is just slinging around. We're going to establish a big breath in and a big sigh, open mouth exhalation, just for the first three. Twice more like that. It's probably not COVID approved, but we can feel good doing that now. Vaccinations are everywhere. And then you take as many of these in class as you need, but in the beginning, really nice to cleanse of old stale energy. When you're done that big sigh, slowly, not forcing ourselves, just allowing ourselves to come back to soft stillness. Right on back into the center. Whew, sometimes you're like a little dizzy after that, so that's all that energy buzzing around. Feet feel stable, fingers and toes are spread wide, reach palms forward, sweep arms skywards on an inhalation. Stretch long, ribs in, and then fall forward and down, whether you hinge or crumple into fold. Halfway lift, but fingers are stretching behind us for lots of elevation through shoulders, chest really wide. Float back to fold. Hold on to opposite elbows and let your chin tuck towards your chest, letting the back of your neck hang heavy. Sway elbows or nose to alternate heels. I love this spin. My favorite thing, feeling good in the hamstrings for you, I hope. Feeling the sensation shift from right to left as you spin. And as you roll to rise, you might like to keep spinning. Stack your spine 1 little millimeter at a time, really luxuriating in our slowing down, our pace is changing with each breath, becoming more chill. Exhale, clasping hands behind low back, soften your knees, squeeze your buns, and start to press your heart forward like it could burst out of its cage, just coming up, showing itself to the world. Folding again, bend your knees, let your knuckles rise if it feels good on your shoulders, right up to the sky. Give a shake of your head, no to start, setting boundaries for ourselves on this beautiful day. Shaking yes to bring the positivity in. And when you're ready, let your fingers fall to the small of your back. Slide down your legs so they don't clunk. And roll to rise again. Maybe you're spinning, maybe you're hinging. Make it your own. One more round of half sun salutations. Big breath in. Pause at the top. Press palms, find eye gaze floating upwards. Left leg steps behind. Tip to the right. Then just figure yourself out here. Swivel around in your chest. Maybe look down, look up. Be curious. Be a little explorer in your body today. Back to center. Press again through palms. Generate that energy. Eye gaze floats up. Exhale. Right leg steps behind. Little curtsy and a tip to the left side. Always like to give myself a little spin around. Look down, look up. Try not to fall over. That's always the goal. Come back to the center. Big breath in. Stretch far. Spread wide through the arms, and let's hinge this time, yogis. Flat back, soft knees. You might like to push out a little bit side to side through your glutes. Pause halfway, tuck chin. Long through back of neck, lift the backs of your hands skywards. Float fingertips to the earth, and we are moving on. Right leg, lunge it back. Settle down in your right knee for kneeling lunge, just the first round all together. And let's try to lift our front toes and the ball of your foot. Now, as we get here, I challenge you to rise arms overhead, and we're gonna really squeeze in our thighs together. feeling a huge contraction in your front hamstring as you pull front heel, I know it's wiggling, towards your back knee. Stay lifted in the upper body, but plant your left ball of foot and lift your heel. Now same thing, drag this time, ball back towards your knee. Big breath in. Settle back down, spin the left arm to the sky, big kneeling lunge twist, and then switch directions. So reach it back, circle forward. Love this movement. Take a big breath in, circle backwards again. Full breath out, circling forwards, eye gaze, optionally following fingers. Hips shift back. Let's draw our toes towards our hips and take a couple bows, pulsing our chest down towards our soft left knees and then re-rising. Little intensity and a little release. Ah, nice. Breathe in and out. One more round like that. Curling our way back forward, finding our tabletop. Knees aligned right under hip points. And let's take our fists together, yogis. We're gonna make a fist and interlace our knuckles with the backs of our hands down, right? As we bend our elbows, we're peeling our inner knuckles towards the sky and then relaxing back into interlace. Super. Let's inhale. Now our little thumb is gonna be lazy. So we wanna try to press that guy onto our index or our middle fingers. And as you're curling up, we hopefully are feeling a big stretch through the top of our wrists. Breathe in, breathe out. Going for 2 more. Just checking in with the rest of your body here, making sure our attention is only in our fists. Facial features soft, toes relaxed, belly soft. Awesome work. Come on back to your regular tabletop, please. And if you need to shake, do by all means, because our wrists can be a little tender. Tuck your toes, hover your knees for just a moment. Breathing in and starting to notice our stomach. Draw navel in towards spine. Breathe into your thighs. One more big breath. Step left leg back. Right leg back to plank. Lift your hips and push back to downward facing dog. And being that curious explorer here, flooding your body with breath. You may like to still see it as that energy source from earlier, a big glowing, warm, yellow breath, or a white, invigorating, lighted breath. Take another breath in and out and we'll come together. Breathing into heel lift. Let's roll forward as we lift our heels, finding our plank again. Drop knees if that feels best, and we slowly lower into the earth, lying prone. Wipe or walk your toes way far back. Nice, ladies in the studio, we're slow and strong. Reach overhead. Thumbs up, palms face one another, and then tuck your chin. You're gonna fog a little mirror up under your nose. Elevate your toes, knees, and thighs. Elevate your pinky fingers. Super long, wide open webbing, full locust. Longer, longer, stretching further like go-go gadget fingers and toes. Breathe in. Exhale, release everything. Push back, child's pose. Tuck your toes when you're ready and hover here for a moment. Feels like a crouch, yeah? Like you're gonna spring forward. Staying in that down dog upper body shape, nice. Yeah, get sticky in your fingers and press chest back. Lift your hips, big breath up in it. That feels good. Right leg rises, big breath again. Look forward, find your thumbs wherever you'd like to land. Eye it up, crunch knee to chest, make space, and then try to step right there. It's okay if you got stuck, help your foot forward. Kneeling lunge. All right, let's just get cozy, get droopy in your hips. And when you're ready, rise through the arms, lifting the ball of your right foot. Try to lift the whole ball. Blade edge too, yeah. And to maintain our stability, we're gonna think rusty scissors, like whoosh, hard to squeeze the inner thighs together, drag that right heel back. Let the foot fall, and then that's wiggling, huh? Right heel rises. Yeah, now drag that ball of foot back. Find breath, work through the wiggles. We just dust those off our shoulders. Fingertips fall. Right arm circles forward into a big lunge twist. You can elevate your back knee if that feels best. And then switch direction. Reach back behind you, big circle. Let's try twice more, yogis. Finding eye gaze, following fingertips for a little neck stimulation. When you're ready, gather your inner thighs together and shift your hips back. Really drawing right toes towards hip. Micro bend that right knee. Finding a soft stance in our hands, really just fingertips are so light as possible. And once the belly's engaged, we'll start those micro pulses. Chest lower and rise. Now thinking about length. So I love to try to do impossible things like take your nose past your toes. Like that's what you're thinking to elongate your spine. Breathe in, breathe out, crawl back forward, very animalistic here, and step your back leg in. Forward fold, hang heavy. We're going to try to drag the crown of our head closer to the ground. So two options, yogis. Hold the backs of your legs or loop with your peace fingers, index and middle, your big toes. Step into your big toes and then drag your crown closer to the floor. I like the beginning to be gentle. So I'm just going to do a little hug and calves, thinking about lengthening crown towards the floor softly. When you're ready, let's roll to rise this time. Neck tucks in tight towards the belly, and we find that reaches the sky last. Once we do, arms rise, big breath in. Beautiful. Let's take a wide stance, a little bit wider than our hips like we started, but we're going to sink down, maybe 6 inches to 1 foot. Okay, now if the arms are too much, reach them forward, taking little tiny micro pulses to warm up our legs. Inhale, exhale. Just 4 more, breathe in. Long through back of neck, but chin is tucked in, so we feel lots of length, like a giraffe in our neck. Sink as low as you can, palms come to heart center. Wide leg forward fold, toes may want to turn in a bit here, parallel to one another. Then we roll to rise. Don't be scared, no more pulses. We're going to sink right back down for yogi squat. Reach and release. Inhale, inspire as you fill up with some beautiful breaths. Exhale. Letting a little bit of surrender come every time we exhale, shedding the layers of our stress. Last yogi squat here. We're just going to stay for a moment. You come as low as it feels good in your body. Left arm extends, right arm reaches back, tiny twist. Eye gaze may want to follow, that feels pretty good. Yeah, don't worry about what way you're going, just open. And let's switch. Opposite arm, whichever one you didn't lift, down. Sweep back, eyes follow back fingers. Forward fold, wide leg. Toe heel, step, or up. Your feet together. Take a giant step back with your left leg this time. Arms rise overhead. We're going to think about spreading wings. So as you find your footing, come really wide. We're here for a bit, so we're going to be stable in our hips. And like we're on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Sweep your wings back behind you. Bring your chest forward. Super proud and smiling in your collarbones. Inhale, rise again. Spread your wings behind you like they're sprouting, reaching, opening. Inhale, one more time. Big breath in. Full breath out. As you stay at the tip-top option to just hold your high lunge, or we're going to tuck pelvis, tailbone down to stretch the front hip, and tap the left knee. As low as you can go. We have a few of these, ladies. Inhale, lower, exhale. The stability is important here. That squeeze through our rusty scissors. Let's do 3 more. Breathe in to lower, out to rise. Soften your shoulders, soften fingers. We start to grip when the going gets tough. 1 more. Straightening your right leg, folding forward and down onto blocks or the floor, whatever suits you. Back leg is staying wide, but you're welcome to adjust it in a nudge. Want to get that left heel lifted for everyone. So we feel a calf stretch as we push through our back foot. Micro pulses might feel good too. Pulse back there. Ah, that's nice. Stretching your back leg. Yeah. Then soften your right knee as you fold in your pyramid. 1 more big breath. All right, yogis, how can you get that right leg back? I love to offer the drag option. So it's not easy, but if you want to, you can drag your right leg back, lift it up into downward facing dog. Or of course you can rebend your knee, find table, find dog. All right, once you're there, take a big open mouth sigh to release some heat. Let's roll forward, plank position. Big breath in. Full breath out as slowly as you can. Try for a 3-second minimum decline. And as we come stretching back out long, wipe the toes or walk them back. Nice job. Body was like, I'm going to go for 75 seconds. I'm still declining. I am awesome. Gentle pat on the back there. Nice. Elevate every knees toes wide, fingers wide overhead. Staying with the first option right here, or we're tapping our toes all the way out as wide as we can, down the ground, up, back, behind the hips, down the ground. Think like making a double rainbow. Did y'all see that the other night? It's an amazing double rainbow. So let's make our own this Friday. All right, hang on to the length. Always finding length over height. Let's go for one more, but very aware of our muscles. Inner thighs, outer thighs. Once you come back behind the hips, hold. Elevate one more time, big extension. Press back, child's pose. Whew. Now we need to breathe some heat out of that low back. So I love a little roll. You use my thighs like rolling pins, and I just kind of roll belly over. Some of you may like to wag your tail in a smile. Some way to release your low back. Whenever you're feeling good again, tuck your toes, find that crouch. Love the crouch because it really gets the bottom of your feet going. Your thighs kick on and your belly gets strong. Lift your hips into downward facing dog in your time. Let's lift our left toes next inhalation and take a peek. Where do you want to land this lunge? When you see it, crunch your left knee to your heart, step right under your knee. So simple to say, so hard to do. Arms rise. Let's find a little different wing spreading. So these are going to be sideways wings, yogis. Find your width, find your squeeze, and our wings fall to the sides this time. Inhale, arms and eyes rise. Just feels good, like the phoenix. Those are the wings we're really envisioning and bringing to life here. Up from the plains. I'm glad it's getting to the time of year where it feels like there may be some planes right in the beginning of class, nice and warm and toasty. Last one. Option to stay at the top, just breathe and find your power, or tuck your tail, bend your right knee as low as you want to go, and then re-rise. Let's try a few more. Inhale to lower, exhale to press. Where does your body naturally tense and grip? So I love the analogy that when you've got a chip in your tooth, your tongue constantly wants to find it. Same with our yoga poses. When something is hard, we fixate on it. Instead, find your lightness, find your brightness. Last one. Pyramid pose. Soft straightening of the left leg. Fingers float down to an object that builds your floor up or the floor itself, whichever is accessible today. Yeah. That right heel is lifted. You're welcome to wiggle it in left to right or in front to back, but stay elevated and start to pulse a little bit through that right heel. So once again, we're gonna move from what is like, ooh, that's tight, to oh, what feels light and bright. Breathe right there. Stay focused on the positive today. One more big breath. All right, how can we get back? Do you want to try to drag? I got a double vinyasa for this round. So if you'd like to, drag, so sticky through that left foot, hard to get back, sweep it to the sky. Drop your toes, downward facing dog. Well done, everyone meet us here for a huge inhalation. Heels rise, we roll forward, and we release. Okay, so we're gonna try to stay longer than body, okay? So I'll let you know when to find the floor, okay? So let's descend, yogis. I don't know how long I can do this for, so. All right, so we're gonna try for 3 more seconds. That is the practice. All right, well, I lost. She's still going. Walk your feet back when you get there, or wipe your toes back. Kudos, everyone, for working hard on that round. Reach back to where we've been. Stay if you like it. Elevate your toes, elevate your pinky fingers, find webbing, spreading. Eyes gazing at that mirror under your nose. Arms are doing the double rainbows this time. Lift thumbs, circle out and down as far back as you can reach. Pinkies drop into the floor. Same thing, back overhead. Reach, squeeze. Pinkies drop down. Love the in-breath to float. Out-breath to soft touch. Thinking of something to stay present. So I always like to think about squishing a beach ball as I reach overhead. And then behind, I'll think about squeezing a pencil between shoulder blades. So maybe you're thinking of a disco ball or a basketball, whatever floats your boat. Stay present. One more big round. When you get back overhead, stay there. Just pause for a second, lengthening as much as you can, and then release. That's the last round of those, no worries. Come on back and shake, shake. Rattle and roll, release your low back. I do love a good circle too, so I'll take my hips in that big smile, and then one of those turns into a circle. If you do it one way, do it the other way. When you're feeling ready, no rush to move on. Tuck toes, find your crouch. Remember, that is head between the elbows, chest still pushing back the thighs. Then we lift our hips. All right, let's do a little balance fun, yogi. Step your feet wide, please. Wide, maybe about as wide as your mat is left to right. Take your left heel, think about a warrior one back foot. So your left heel turned in, your toes turned out just a smidge, and we're gonna elevate our right foot. So your left toe has to be flat for this one. All right, yogis, as you elevate your right foot, spin that left heel somewhere flat, but this doesn't bother your knee. A little bit like a warrior one back foot, yes? Bend your right heel to your butt. Stay steady, you can do this. Left fingers get light, they tense. We're gonna reach around, are you ready? Reach around your low back, reaching for your right top of foot. So if you get your left foot, the back foot, in a place that feels really secure, you'll be able to nail this pose. I used to try to tackle it with my back heel lifted, and that was darn near impossible. Don't worry, if you plop today, we need a few of those in our lives to humble us. When you're done playing with that, coming back to regular dog, dropping to tabletop and getting off of that right shoulder for a moment. Fists come into our low back, right into the small, and then hug chicken wings in. Option 2, palms to buns, fingers face up. We want to use something to curl our back over. Big breath in. Think about your heart pumping out of that cage again. Really big lift. And then curl over your thumbs or your fingertips. Draw shoulders back down. One more big breath in. Okay, before we come back to that, let's tuck our chins, look forward, lift our arms skywards, and with toes untucked if possible. Bow forward like you're coming to child's pose, but we're just gonna hold and hover. Belly engages, buns hover over your heels, and we hold. I like to do a little magic trick and like wiggle fingers just to keep them free and relaxed. Big breath in, fingers down, tuck toes, downward facing dog. All right, yogis, here we go. I love this one. Get your feet just a little bit wider, find stability, wiggle out in your shoulders and your chest, just find freedom. Right heel turns in a smidge, think warrior one back foot. Yeah, and really plant it, but it may change, so let's just be flexible and open-minded. Left leg rises, so right away, if you feel anything in your right knee, swivel your toes so you feel good. Yeah, going for it, Renee. Right hand, tense your fingers, get light. Bend your left heel to your butt, and then reach back. Going for the top of your left foot. So what wants to happen is your body floats forward into plank here. Totally cool if you want to try it more like a scorpion. But for now, we're going to keep the goal of pressing back into our two-limbed down dog. Nobody wakes up as hard as I like that. Beautiful ladies, we are crushing it in studio. Re-extend, toes fall, super job. Drop to your knees, reach into child's pose, extend out, but your palms are turning up. Your shoulder is like, okay, give me a breath. Beautiful. I hope that the ladies at home felt really confident about that, and hopefully you had soft padding around you if you took a tumble. One more breath cycle here. Alrighty, my friends, when you're feeling re-energized, let's go. Palms down, toes tucked. Here is our crouch, lifting up into our dog. And we're gonna look forward, tiptoeing as many little footprints as we can, but lifting, thigh up in the hip socket. Each time we step, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze. From your forward fold, soften your knees and melt in. Try whatever we didn't do earlier to drag our crown down. So if you hugged your legs, try your yogi peace fingers around your toes. Third option, if you just want something else, is a gorilla, sliding palms under balls of feet. Toes find your wrist crease. Feels so fun to just like wiggle your toes around your wrist creases there. And if you're in gorilla, it's really nice to roll from the big toe side to the baby toe side. Roll the weight around to massage the backs of your hands. One more breath cycle where we are. We're dragging crown to the floor. Letting go of whatever holds we have. Rolling to rise to explore some balances. Woohoo, okay. Ready? Remind yourself, I am balanced. Inhale, arms rise. Eyes gaze upwards. Let's find our feet. Spread all 10 toes. Spread the ball away from the blade edge and then lift your heels. Stay, work through those wiggles in your ankles. You're gonna make this so much easier in a second. Eyes come forward. That wasn't easier. I thought it was gonna be though. My intention was pure, I promise. Eyes forward, and if it's not easier, eyes down. Find ease for a second. Ungrip your toes. Soften your fingers, but webbing is still wide. Heels fall, arms stay. Beautiful. Left knee rises. And then soften shoulders from earlobes so we don't have clip-on earrings. Twisting to the left, like an archer arms. Open your chest, close your right ribs to your left thigh. Stay steady. Swivel to the other side with your torso, twisting to the right. Toes can be at any height. Also kickstand it on the floor if that feels more secure today. Reaching all the way back forward. Send your arms following the left toes into airplane pose. We want to spread our wings behind us on this airplane pose. Staying and floating, hopefully without turbulence, or diving your airplane. Left toes find the sky, fingers are following. Crown finds the floor. And if you had to touch your fingers down, that's fine. Stay if you need them, but try to guide them back upwards. Big lift, back into our knee lift. Arms rise, eyes forward or up for the challenge. Okay, yogis, we're opening our left knee to the side. Last round on this foot, stay strong. Opening into external rotation, yes. Clamp the foot somewhere, anywhere from floor to the inner thigh. Once we find it, work through your wiggles, your convulsions, your shimmies, whatever's happening, and move eyes upwards. Bring up your right toes, take a big breath in. Notice how the hip feels really open here, yes? Give a little feedback from your right leg, push it into your left foot. Come back to center, eyes forward, finishing this side with a kick out of our left heel. So knee comes in, heel comes out. We just opened our hips, and now we're putting it all the way back in. Take a big breath. Back to center, release. Standing leg. Good work, right legs. Give them a shake. Love to roll toes over if that feels good for you. You can shimmy your whole body, just feel free. Whew. All right, well done, my friends. Arms rise. Let's start fresh. Spread the balls of feet and toes. Eyes up. Suspension pose, we call this one. Both heels are rising. Arms in a V. I like to think about being suspended from the collarbones, like not in real life, just in your class. You know what I mean? Open your chest. Big breath in. Eyes forward, hopefully helpful. Reclaim your heel lift if you lost it. Heels melt down. Arms sweep back skywards, right knee rises. Softening shoulders as we lift. This feels better. Twisting to the right. Closing left ribs to right thigh. Opening your chest. Expansive in your wingspan. Bottom half stays, top half swivels the opposite way. While you're here, can you think about lifting from your right inner thigh? In order to keep our hips square, lift from the inner thigh. Back forward, wide with the arms. Sweep them back behind you. Airplane pose, the fingers are chasing right toes. Give them a little friendly wiggle. Still cool as a cucumber here. Tuck your chin, look towards your navel. I dare you to lift your right toes skywards. Drop your crown, let it fall off your head. Take a big, beautiful breath in. Arms rise. We slowly, hopefully, find our way back to standing. This right knee is still lifted. Woo. Almost done here. Sweep right knee out to the side. Anywhere that you want to attach it, find your tree. Use the stability in your hip. Eye gaze floats upwards, finding fingertips soft and airy in the top half. Left leg is giving feedback, really squeezing it in to your right foot. One more big breath in. As you look back forward, our final trick, lift your right knee. Take it in as you kick your right heel out. Ooh, that feels good, huh? It's like it was kind of out of place and now it's just snuggling back into all those nooks and crannies where it belongs. Release, shake out. Oh, let the left leg go. Roll over your toes, shake your whole body so you feel loose and free again. All right, when that's all good, my friends, join me. Big breath in. Exhale, fold, tumble, whatever feels really good. Right leg sweeps back behind us, supported warrior three. So I recommend moving fingers forward and then act like you're trying to scrunch the floor or the mat. So squeeze the fingertips together. Right leg rises and then hips square. Squeeze the inner thighs. Flex your right toes and take a peek at them. Are all 5 toes facing the floor? We good if they are. All right, let's elevate our hands. This is totally an option. Palms can come to heart center. Spread back into our airplane wings or goalpost or straight reach overhead. Wherever you've landed, left knee bends as deeply as you can. Straighten and strengthen. Just 3 more, it's a tough one. Bend, inhale. Exhale. Bend, inhale. Exhale. Last time. If arms are elevated, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really, really strong. Right heel bends to butt. Right arm reaches forward. Left fingers reach back for your right foot, but we're not going to grab. We're just reaching like we are going to grab. One more big breath in. Swivel the arms, left fingertips down. Right foot pushes away from heart, half moon pose. Stack right shoulder and hip over left side. Option to float your half moon if that feels better in your body, meaning that the left fingers hover. That's more difficult in the balance arena, but less challenging and intense on your left hamstring if you're feeling tight in your back body. One more big breath in. Exhale, swivel right back to where we started, our supported warrior three. Toes fall into forward fold. Bend your knees deeply and try to hug into a little squatting ball. Your heels may lift. Mine definitely do. Heels down would be great. That means our back, ankles, and Achilles are really long. If you can, a little ball. So we're going to hug our shins, tuck our noses in between our knees, work through the wobbles. Nice, ladies. One more big breath in here. And then like a flower and fast forward, opening from a bud. We're going to rise back up, forward fold. Supported warrior three. So reach forward, then crumple the mat or the floor, squeezing finger pads together. Left leg stretches back. Ah, feels good to get off that leg. Let's scissor our inner thighs. Take a peek back, flex your left foot or all 5 toes, pointing towards the floor. Cool, cool. All right, so options for warrior three. Where do you want? Float, palms at prayer, heart center. Wings, cactus. Whoa, way overhead would be super hard. We're going for 4 bends. Wiggle your right toes, but bend deeply into your right knee. Press back up. If your arms are elevated in any way, our goal through this is going to be to squeeze our shoulder blades together, pulling our chest wide, east to west. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Fingers come back down. Left heel bends towards your butt. Left arm extends overhead. And right arm reaches back like you're going to grab your foot, but you're just reaching expansively through the fingertips. Don't grab your foot. Big breath in. Take as much time as you need to refine it. When you're done with it, find your little bud. We're going to rewind that flower and take it right on back to a bud, squatting. Hugging onto the shins, nose between your knees. Stay as tightly tucked as you can. This is our last visit here. I challenge you to try to close your eyes. Ooh, that's scary. One more big breath in. When you're ready, ladies, re-blink eyes open, look forward, reach your arms forward, try to get your heels down here. We're gonna have to sit any way you can. No hands is preferable, but we'll work towards that. Maybe we have a plop, whatever we have is good. Let's take our buns a little bit wider so you may move flesh out from under sit bones and fail. Or just wiggle, 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 and take soles of feet together. All right, so some people like to cross their legs for this. I feel a little compressed when I do, but we're gonna work through the forearm again. Remember that little massage we did? So I like my legs in bound angle. I've seen people really enjoy it in cross leg too, but just feel like it kind of smushes onto your foot on that one leg. It doesn't feel great. So when you get ready, use your forearms and just start to press down through the length of your leg, including all the soft parts. So your thighs, your calves, just avoiding the bony parts. No rhyme or reason to it, just loving on our bodies a little bit here. You can do a bunch on one leg and just a few on the other, whatever you feel like you need. I do the forearm. The elbow can be a little intense, but if you know you have like a knotty calf or something, you can certainly use your elbow. Just a little ouchie for yoga. Taking another breath in, lean your weight into that arm so you can get a really big opening on your inner hip. All right, now take more time there anytime you need it, but when you're ready, lean back. Let's just open our body. We've done a lot of folding. Chest is really rising, and fingers feel like they're screwing into the ground to squeeze that pencil between your blades. Open your heart and optionally rise. Just make sure your shoulders and elbows feel good. Squeezing through the buns, pressing through blade edges of feet to open inner arches. Might be like a little seesaw rocking here and there. One more big breath wherever you are. Exhale, release. Okay, my friends, come undone here. Let your legs just windshield wipe, or you can shake. You can do anything in between these parts that make your body feel good, whatever comes to mind. Come back to windshield wiping with us, feet wide, and let both knees fall to the left. All right, now when we let them fall to the left, we want two 90-degree bends. So we have to do a fair share of scooching to get situated with no hands. Feeling good? All right, cool. Knees bent. Let's bring them just a little bit, instead of heels to butt, right to 90 degrees. Yeah, so kicking the heel out. So each knee is at 90. Perfect. All right, then you might need to scoot your buns. And we're gonna come over the left knee with both hands really soft. Feel okay? Yes. Come on down towards the left knee, navel towards left knee. We're gonna rise and walk hands to the right, over the left calf. Fold here. Walk hands to the right, over the left inner arch. All right, so our goal as we swivel back to where we started is no hands. See if you can fold as low as it feels good into the knee. Swivel right, fold into the calf. Swivel right, you know where we're going, right to that inner arch. All right, now as you come down, we have 2 more rounds. You're welcome to continue with hands. See if you can tuck your chin and get so long, pulling the crown away from your tail. Moving at your speed. I've definitely seen people nose tap, so maybe that's something we can work towards. Intense in the left outer glute. We're gonna try one more. Big swivel left. Fall. Swivel right. Using breath. I love an exhalation to push back up because sometimes it feels like you might get stuck there forever. Swivel right. And when you're ready, ladies, hands behind you, just have a minute. Open your chest. Keep the legs if you can. If you need to swish them, you can. We have one more little trick here. All right, let's lean to the left. Just your left hand. You can do whatever with the right hand. We're going to try to lift our entire right leg. So the whole thing, we're going to lift and squeeze. Excelente. Taking a big breath in, squeezing through the outer thigh. And place it back down. Now we swivel. Lean back. Swivel the legs. You can do the shake. Whatever your knees, your legs, and your ankles like. They were so serious for so long. It feels nice just to let them be free. All right, come to windshield wipe, and then when you feel ready, yep, going to the right. Scoot your buns so you feel really steady with no hands, and 90-degree knees, heels open from buns. Cool. All right, let's come over. One hand either side, right knee, navel down to navel. Breathe in here. Out to rise. Little walk left. Just try in each spot first with our hands supporting. Walk left. Find that right inner arch. Here's another goal. We could try to bring our forehead to our inner arch. Hey, if you can't reach nose to floor, then try forehead to inner arch. All right, let's swivel, no hands. We have 3 more rounds or whatever you can do. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Push. Right around that corner. Beautiful. Finding the calf. Finding your inner arch. And then thinking long on these next few. Crown is pulling away from your tailbone. This music is perfect for now because we're working so strong. But whenever we do this, we want to think about where can I release? Maybe it's just the soft blink of your eyelids or a little upturn in the corners of your mouth. And whenever you've gotten through that last round, finding your way back up from your right inner arch, we're just going to lean back and let our body soften for a moment. Stretch out if you need to, keeping our legs in 90 degrees if we can. All right, so when you feel open, lean to the right. So much so that your left leg casually lifts, but we want to integrate the outer hip. So squeeze, stay for our breath, hang on. As you exhale, soften back down. Swing the legs back forward. If you're shaking, rolling and wiping, whatever feels good. Beautiful, my friends. Let's come to seated twist. Taking the right leg straight, and when you're ready, left knee hugs in. Scoot your buns way far back from that right heel. Push it forward. Super. Let's let the left knee fall open. You decide whether there's a connection or an openness. All right, and this is a great place to be, or you can go half hero. So depending on your body, if you want to bend your foot back, usually we like for safety toes tucked. My knees prefer my foot to be out, so whatever floats your boat. If you're doing half hero with me, we're just going to use our thumb to remove the calf flesh so you can fold more tightly. So you kind of lean to the right and then lift your calf out from the fold. Hey, all right, my friends, wherever we are, we're going to lift strong. And exhale, come forward really flat back for the duration of this full exhalation. And then when you feel ready, if you'd like to surrender, feel free to mount on down over your right leg, soften your back, curving and releasing. Taking another big breath in here. And on your exhalation, let's push to rise. Now, wherever your left knee was, we're going to stand it back up to the ceiling. And then like you're straddling in your hips, we're going to move that foot as far from our right thigh as possible. Beautiful. And then just try to scoot your right thigh out a smidge too. Yeah. We're going to take our right hands to the left ankle. Yes. Now, this knee's going to want to follow us in. So we want to push it out. Left arm rises to the sky. Big breath in. Flex right toes and reach over for them. Remember that as you lean, your left knee is going to want to come in and collapse. So let's really push it out. We're kind of pulling on this left heel as we push our left knee away. Yeah. Then if you're able to connect your right elbow inside your right thigh somewhere, that's a great booster to open your chest. And you might be able to grab your right toes. No worries about where you're reaching or how far you're going. Just doing what feels good. Big breath in. Creating this amazing openness through the left side of our bodies. Breathe into your ribs. Create space between hips and ribs. Reaching left fingertips back to the sky. Sit up tall again. Super. Close your legs. They might just shake. That was a tough one. Okay, let's open our thighs. So stand feet down, knees to ceiling. And we're going to screw our hands in again. So notice when we screw down, the chest rises. Making sure you feel comfy in wrists, ankles, or elbows and shoulders. And then rise your hips. So I like my fingers to face my buns. That feels best in my shoulders. Wherever you are, think about spreading left to right. Your head can drop back. If you squeeze your shoulder blades together, there's a little pillow there to reach you. Nice to close our eyes since we're being blinded by the lights in here. So hopefully your eyes are closed and you're coming within. Have a seat back down. Keep the right leg and extend your left leg. Now really scoop butt back. Push hips, heel forward as hips come back. Yeah, and then let it fall. Wherever it lands is probably pretty good. But if you want to change it to a half hero, nice. Just checking in with your knee, seeing what feels best. And if you found half hero, lean to the left and use your right thumb to pull that calf flesh out so you can really bend. All right, let's go straight and strong, my friends. Lift, breathe in. Exhale, folding forward. And at least for the duration of this breath, stay superwoman long in your spine. Welcome to join me in a release if you'd rather just melt and drip down towards your left knee. If you chose that option, let the surrender come into your face as well, really softening everything. One more big breath in with effort or ease, whatever you're enjoying. During that exhalation, rise up with support. Bring your right knee to the sky, and we're gonna go open on the hips. So moving right knee out, left leg maybe a little open. I always feel like I get stuck. I'm kind of hunkered in, so then I scooch buns back here. Yeah. Gonna grab on with your left hand to your right ankle. Remember, this is gonna wanna come with us, so we really push our right knee open. Cool. Right arm rises. Big breath in, super, and then just tip to the left a little bit. It would be great if you could get your elbow into the inner thigh, because then you'll feel more swivelable in the upper body. Yes. And then if something like reaching for your left toes is speaking to you today, go for it. Using left hand, kind of pulling on that right ankle, really pushing away with the right knee to give you support here. Let's soften in the facial features during this last cycle of breath. And when you're ready, eyes down, fingers fall, we roll back up to where we were. Bring our legs together, they might need a little help. Do whatever feels good to walk straight and that strength, which sometimes feels like tension. All right back to where we were. If you'd like a reverse table, or if you want to make it a little bigger this time, I'm gonna go for reverse plank. When you do that, think about pointing your toes and trying to plug your big toes in. Really squeeze everything in together. Lift a little and find your arms. Make sure everything feels good. Then squeeze your buns and push up. Pressing, plugging big toes in. Can we stay for another breath? These big heart openers can feel very panicky. We're used to closing off and protecting ourselves. So try to open and find confidence here. Settle back down. Move hips back, flex feet, push heels away, stretch long, and fold into staff pose. As we hug onto our legs or the sides of our mats here, keep tugging your crown towards your toes. And then exhale, softening somewhere in your body. One more cycle of breath. And when you're ready, we're rolling back from here. So we're gonna curl our backs, tuck our chins to our chest, really anchor our heels in, and then roll back one vertebrae at a time. Keep heels anchored if you can. Fingers low, we're gonna roll all the way back behind us to the mat, lie long, good morning stretch. You go for a big back arch. Open your belly and your chest. I'm just gonna stop blinding you with the lights. And when you get there, we're hooking up a little cattail today. So let's roll ourselves into a ball. Hug your knees to your chest. And just rock side to side, massaging through your low back. Feeling free. If there's some pockets of tension, stay in that space and roll those out. All right. Got it on the first try this time. Okay, let's stretch a a little bit, then we'll come back into just a tad bit of work. Bringing our chest and knees together, hug into a little energetic ball here. Let your head rest again. Arms spread really wide. Tap toes to your mat and scoot your buttons to the right, letting both knees fall to the left. Now let's really ground our shoulders for this first part. We're extending right leg straight. Your top leg extends straight. You might like to capture it with your left hand. So grabbing our cattail is through the bottom foot. I always like to look at mine. So I poke my left toes to the ceiling so you can see them. That way when you reach with your right hand, you know what you're grabbing for. We're gonna try to grab the top of that foot. And once you do, pull with your right hand so your heel comes right up to your buns, like your little cattail. Pull it right up your spine. Nice, big quad stretch here. Once you've gotten yourself adjusted in your legs, move around through your shoulder blades so they feel really softly positioned. And finally, your eyes may want to look to the right side. When we have a lot going on, remember our analogy with our tongue always finding the rough edge of the tooth instead of focusing on all that's happening. What we're feeling intensely, shift your focus to what feels so soft, so beautiful. Can you focus on your stomach softly inflating? And how smoothly can you deflate? This is a tough one. We're going to try to let go of our left foot without it slingshotting. So maintain a little squeeze through your quad, let your hand go, and then extend your leg back out. Rebend your right knee. Maybe you want to pull your knees back to your chest. That's good. I know you made a lot of space when you knock stuff over. Press through your shoulders and climb to the sky with your knees. And then as you get yourself situated, hips back under shoulders, hug knees back in. But if you had them next to one another as you rocked a moment ago, take a line. Just move in through the back. Free up. Find any little problem spots and give it some TLC. Let's bring our knees together again. Tap toes and scoot hips to the left. So as knees fall to the right, your hips are right under your shoulders, long spine for this part. Really sending shoulders wide and anchor them in. Left leg straightens, and right hand may want to grasp onto that leg. Oh, that feels good. Good hamstring stretch. Outer thigh, IT band. Going for the cattail when you're ready. Poke your right toes to the ceiling so you know where they are. And then left hand reaches for them. Curl your tail right up your back. I usually feel quite smushed when we first get into this, so you just want to find your legs and then settle your shoulders so there's no flesh pinched. As anchored as you can be through your shoulder blades. And then eye gaze travels to the left. Refocusing on what feels soft. Maybe it's a little flutter in your eyelashes or a lightness in your earlobes. A separation of your lips and spaciousness in the roof of your mouth. Try another big breath in here. And then with control, a little squeeze through that right heel so that as we release our left hand, it didn't slingshot away from us. Just slowly comes back. Both knees rebend, still twisted here for a moment. Planting arms and shoulders, eye gaze, travel skywards, and we squeeze through our obliques to rise, knees to sky. Shift hips back under your shoulders, and then let's stand on the ceiling. Both feet flat, all 5 toes leaving the footprint. Holding anywhere from backs to thighs, to the heels or the blade edges of your feet for a happy baby. Definitely offering the rock, I love that. But try to send your tailbone long too, so even the very base of your spine and pelvis get a little love. fold ourselves into a cow face. We're going to take our left knee and cross it on top of the right, and then bend your knee so that you can grab anywhere on the outer legs. I like to go for the blade edges of my feet, but if you do that, flex your feet so we don't put pressure on our knees. Yeah, and then pull your heels towards your cheeks. Hug your knees to your chest, so much so that we feel that left thigh kick on. Try to soften in your shoulders as you exhale, releasing wherever we do not need tension. Releasing your feet, bringing hands as you uncross legs to your inner knees or your inner thighs, and just allow them to gently fall open. If you feel tight in your inner thighs, you could use your hands on the outer knee like a kickstand. Otherwise, I like to bring some heaviness to the arms, to the thighs, inviting openness into your hips. Crossing right knee over left. When you're ready, finding our reclined cow face. Really squeeze your thighs together and then take hands to opposite knees, slide them as low as they can go. If you catch the blade edges of your feet, give them a real strong flex. And then squeeze, heels to buns. But the best part is the knees. Bring your knees to your chest. Oh, requires some work, but it feels so good when you feel that outer right thigh kick on. Ooh, stretch and breathe there. Relax your shoulders on one of these deep exhalations. Feel like your face is melting down past your earlobes, leaving a heavy imprint. All the tension drips away. Separate your teeth, soften the corners of your eyes. And when you're ready, release your knees, hands back to inner knees, but we'll try to straighten our legs this time. If you just want to go a little bit, one at a time, might not feel good to come into full straddle right away. So just kind of explore here, straightening one and the other, a little or a lot. Feel like your inner hips are inviting you in. Straighten both legs, heavy arms or hands on the inner thighs. Point and flex through your toes. Scrunch. Satisfying sounds of a good ankle stretch. And when that feels pretty good, bring hands to outer knees. Close your knees back in towards your chest. Give another huge squeeze. This time, hugging with as much energy as you can conjure up, squeezing everything in and into your little ball. Letting your head rest back, your arms fall heavily, your feet land, steeple knees, recline down angle, full corpse pose, whatever is speaking to you for your shavasana. And every class, when you finish, if you feel like, oh man, I really needed this one stretch or something is really still feeling tight, please take the time to honor your body and move as you need. Get cozy and warm if you can. And join me with some beautiful breathing. We're going to practice straw breath. Really, I think, useful way to calm yourself when you're in a tense situation, too loud, too chaotic, stress is upon you. Breathing in through both nostrils, envisioning the threads of breath traveling in, and then the slightest little purse of your lips as if you're breathing out through a straw. Try that a couple more times. How long can you make the exhalation of your straw breath? And are you able to soften it? Send it a bit wider, a bit further into your body. I usually feel like about 3 of those is completely transformative for your mood, your attitude, whatever's going on. 3 straw breaths can work some miracles. a quote from one of my favorite yogis that I follow. She shared it, but the actual quote was written by Matt Kahn, Kahn. The easiest way to raise your vibration is to relax your body. The most essential way to relax your body is to slow your breath. The most effective way of slowing your breath is by loving your own heart. One I love you at a time, and your breath will be inspired into a slower pace, reminding our body to feel safe enough to relax as your vibration elevates into higher frequencies of light. This is the heart of transformation. One I love you at a time. One breath right into your heart. I love that because it feels very doable. We can fit that into our tight schedules at any time. As always on Friday mornings, I would love for you to stay and relax longer, at least 3 to 5 more breaths, allowing your practice to marinate. But to honor your time, I do want to let you know that it is 10:31. We didn't go too far over today, so if your schedule allows, stay for 3 to 5 more minutes if you can. I'm in no rush to go anywhere. Whenever you feel ready, you'll begin with those tiny little movements. I really like to look over a shoulder, just swish your chin to one side, give it a little roll to the other. Moving a bit through your furthest extremities, a little magical finger work, wiggle, wiggle, and then make a fist. Same with your toes, and then scrunch your toes into a little ball, and then shoot everything back open for that big good morning stretch if you're lying on your backs. If you're seated like me, you can reach your arms overhead and just find so much openness. Let's carry this I love you sensation, this amazing breath work through today with our confident posture and our open hearts. And when you're ready, slowly releasing into a little ball, maybe fetal position. Cradle your head if you're there. Use your top hand to press up. And we'll meet in seated. Taking palms somewhere soft on your thighs. Give your shoulders a big roll up, back and down. Opening your heart, smiling in your collarbones. People will feel your frequency and feel this higher vibration. Hopefully when you're interacting today, your experiences, your relationships are all positive. And if they're not, we'll practice another round of our straw breathing to take us through any circumstances we encounter. Breathing in through our noses, pursing lips ever so gently, and a long, slow straw breath exhalation. I love to have palms up when I practice that. So when I do it at home, when the kids are getting on my nerves, I turn my palms forward. I just feel like you can really bring it in that way. When you're ready to close your practice today, your formal practice, because we'll take all this beautiful yoga off the mat as well. But bring your hands to heart center and sealing in our practice with a little bow to ourselves, being grateful for our amazing able bodies. I hope that you felt good, you felt free and happy as you were moving. I hope that you feel a connection with your breath and that you send your weekend into a blissful state with this yoga class this morning. Yogis, my light honors your divine light. Thank you for the honor of allowing me to lead you, and namaste.
Namaste.